Play me something jazzy. Remove the mandolin. Can you add a guitar to it? Do you have a saxophone? Give me a cheering crowd.
We're going to talk about Mixlab.
What is Mixlab? Well, Mixlab is a web app that allows anyone to create music using voice commands. Mixlab was developed by a huge number of people, ranging from independent developers such as Maya Man and Prit Patel, but also included an impressive cast of artists, musicians, and bands, alongside many, did I mention many? Other people. It featured an impressive and talented music production in the background, since all the samples were recorded, mixed, and mastered at Pro Audio LA. Mixlab is the culmination cocktail of several years of technological advancements, notably in music production, web development, machine learning, and voice commands. Part of the Google Voice experiments, the project is open sourced and it is available on GitHub. So, looking at the GitHub project, we can see that it's pretty well presented and assembled. So, first, the license. The entire project is licensed under Apache version 2. I invite you to read the license if you want to know more about it. It's included in the project anyway. For the purposes of this episode, we're not going to deploy this. It has way too many components going on. It's going to take forever. You need a server setup, a Node.js server setup. You need to set up your webhooks to communicate with Dialogflow. You need to train Dialogflow, so the AI behind that, to understand whatever we want it to understand. In today's episode, we're just going to use the app. We're not going to deploy this project. And I also want to give you an overview on how the project works behind. So Dialogflow is basically a natural language understanding platform provided by Google. It makes it easy to design and integrate a conversational user interface into a mobile app, web app, devices, bots, and what they call interactive voice response systems, such as Google Assistant. Now you might say, okay, how do I use that? Well, you can actually use Dialogflow. You'll need a couple of things set up though. You need to open a Google Developers account, which is free. You can just enable it for your own current Google account. So the way it works is when you activate it, you basically train it with intents. Intents, it's what Dialogflow understands from you. In the case of Mixlab, if I tell Mixlab, hey, play me a saxophone, well, the intent is to play something. That's what Dialogflow needs to learn. You will train it with texts and phrases. It'll be stuff like, hey, play me an instrument, play me a musical instrument. Can you play this? Can you play that? Can you play this? Can you play that? If you don't specify the context, it can't be interpreted into many ways. Dialogflow doesn't know what to play. It can play a video, it can play a music file, it could play, I don't know, a music instrument. So you need to make it understand that we're talking about music and instruments most of the time. So the way it normally works is when you train Dialogflow, it learns about your intents, and then it comes up with entities. Entities is, in the same example, saxophone. It understands what you mean by your intent. So as a response, it's gonna reply back to you either through text or synthetic speech. The interesting part about Mixlab is that instead of getting a text response or a synthetic speech response, they developed the third part of their project, which is the webhook. A webhook is basically a link that gets triggered by being pinged. The generic idea is basically a link that you access or that you send a request to, and then in turn triggers something. So a webhook is basically just setting up a link to trigger something else. And in this case, what they're doing is instead of getting a text or a synthetic speech, Dialogflow will ping a webhook. So basically it'll just send a signal to one of the slash whatever that they have set up. I'll give you an example. Let's say if I say, play me the saxophone, well, it sends my audio input along with the text to Dialogflow. Dialogflow knows that I want to play the musical instrument saxophone, then pings the Mixlab website /saxophone, and then the server will generate the saxophone to be played. So webhooks are basically just specific links that trigger specific things based on a request that they received. So this is pretty much how the project works. Like I said, again, we're not going to deploy. There are a lot of things going on, so it would take days literally to show you how to deploy such a thing. In today's episode, we're just going to have fun with the app and take it for a test drive. All right, let's go. So right now I'm on Mixlab and we're just going to talk to it and see what we have. And hopefully we can generate interesting music or interesting beats. We'll see. I know that they've hidden some Easter eggs in there, so you can ask stuff that you wouldn't think would work, and they do. The cheering crowd one at the beginning of the video was one of them. Let's give it a go. Give me a house beat. That worked pretty well. Not bad for an AI though. Let's see what we can try. Add a dubstep bass to it. No, that didn't work. Give me a dubstep bass. Dubstep bass synthesizer. That's what was written, so hopefully it's gonna work. Remove the bass. Add a reverby guitar. Refurbished guitar. Can you slow it down? Remove the bass synthesizer. Okay. Give me a disco saxophone. Yeah, it's the same sax that I requested earlier. No. Okay, stop everything. we're gonna make it clean this time. Add a southern dobro, whatever a dobro is. That's a dobro? I didn't know that. Add some keyboard. Awesome keyboard. Do we have the basis of a lo-fi beat now? I don't know. It sounds to me like it's sampleable. Like you could sample this and come up with something else, but it's great for family parties. Give me city traffic noises. Apparently you can't generate that. Well, my bad. Give me city traffic noises. Okay, alright. Okay, not bad. Add a bass to it. This AI has little to no sense of rhythm whatsoever. Remove the bass. Add retro drums. Whatever those are. Add a didgeridoo. You got it, let's jam again soon. That's not what I asked. Okay, so obviously not everything will work, but it is a pretty impressive technological feat. Just the fact of combining voice commands, AI, and music it was bound to happen. This is a huge start. If you're pretty familiar with the tech behind this entire project, you can easily get the project and make it your own. If you want to build a voice-based synthesizer, for example, that would be a good start. I would see it more as a fun thing. Not sure if you can sample those and reuse them. So yeah, you can definitely remix those in a way. Like if you go on a website on your phone, plug the phone into a guitar amp and see what you can come up with. Good for experimental music endeavors, I'm guessing, but mostly it's a fun thing. It's really to have fun amongst friends. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this video. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit the like, smash the subscribe, and I'll see you on the second episode. Peace!